Hello kids, it's Miss Fowler. We're going to try this video thing and I'm going to try and teach you guys a lesson on the Pythagorean Theorem. Yes, Frozen's playing in the background and my nephew is driving around over here. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. So Pythagorean Theorem is always done with a right triangle. So I'm going to draw a little right triangle here. Okay, that means that this angle has to be 90 degrees. It only works when we have a 90-degree angle. So what it states is that our two sides, when we square them, equals the third side squared. Third side is always the hypotenuse. And it's always opposite of our right angle. So if we had a problem where we're trying to find that hypotenuse, and we have the other two sides, so I'm going to draw my little right triangle here. Let's go, this one is 10, and this one is 15. And the right angle's there. We're looking for our c squared. What we're going to do is add the two legs together. The squares the two legs, so 10 squared plus 15 squared equals our c squared. So 10 squared is 100, and 15 squared is 225. Okay, 100 plus 225, when we combine those like terms, is 325. To undo our square, we always want to take the square root. So the square root of 325 equals our c. So in my calculator, I'm going to type in the square root of 325, and we're probably going to get a decimal, I think. Yep. And that's a-okay. So c is 18.0. I'm going to round that 2 up because the 7's larger than 5 to get 3. Okay. Now I just want to make sure our c has to be the longest side. So 18.03 is bigger than 10 and 15. So that works. Our other one that we might see is when we're missing one of the legs. So let's say our hypotenuse is 13 and this side is 5. Okay? Chill. Okay, so do this one. Because we have the longest side and a leg, we're going to subtract the squares. So 13 squared, always the big number first, minus 5 squared is going to equal our b squared, which we'll call him b. So 13 squared, I believe, is 169. Yep. Minus 5 squared, that's 25, equals our b squared. Let's see, 169, take away 25 is 144. All right, now to undo the square this time, we'll still take the square root. And the square root of 144, you guys should know, but I'll type it in anyways, is 12. So that side b equals 12. Now we want to make sure that's logical. 12 should be smaller than our hypotenuse, and it is. So I'm going to do the notes page next after showing you guys these two examples. And then I'm going to give you guys an IXL to work on today. So here is the notes page, Pythagorean Theorem. Okay, it's used to find the missing side of a right triangle. Diku, watch Elsa. No. Sorry guys, it's a little loud here. All right, sides A and B are called the legs. They're the short sides. Okay, and side C, always across from the hypotenuse, is oh sorry, across the right angle is the hypotenuse. Hey, Pipes, chill. One second, we're gonna give the kid a cookie because he's a little bit loud. Baby G, do you want a cookie?
Yeah.
What's this called? Yeah. All right, so back to this. Hypotenuse. Go sit down with your cookie. Go sit down. Okay. For any right triangle, our a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? So when we're finding one of the legs, we're going to add the two numbers squared together. And when we're finding the hypotenuse, we'll subtract the squares of whatever we have to. So this one, we're looking for the hypotenuse. So we're going to add the squares. So 8 squared plus 13 squared equals our x squared. 8 squared is 64. And 13 squared is 169. Okay, so in the trusty dusty calculator, which you guys have your phones, which are more than sufficient for this, 64 plus 169 equals 233. And all we want to do is take the square root to find our missing side. And I got x is 15.26, and I'm going to box that in. Okay, let's make sure it's logical. Is this number the longest side? Yep, it's bigger than 13 and it's bigger than 8. So we good. Next one, across from our right angle is our hypotenuse. So we're looking for the hypotenuse again. So we'll add the squares together. So we've got 27 squared plus 22 squared equals x squared. And I don't know those numbers in my head, so I'm just going to put them in the calculator. 27 squared is 729. And 22 squared is 484. So let's see. 729 plus 484 equals that large number, 1,213. And then to undo the square, we gotta take the square root. So let's see, second square root of our big number. We get the length of the hypotenuse is 34.8. That 2 will round up because the 8 after it is larger than a 5 to 3. Okay, now 34.83 is the biggest number there, so that works for the hypotenuse. Okay, number 3 is next. So let's see, my hypotenuse is right here. So we have the hypotenuse. And we have another side. We're looking for a little side. So when we're trying to find, okay, a side that's not the hypotenuse, we're going to subtract the squares. So 9 squared minus 7 squared is going to equal our x squared. So 9 squared is 81. 7 squared is 49. So let's see. 81 take away 49 equals 32. Is our leg squared, and so we're going to undo that by doing the square root. We get 5.65. That last 5 will round up to a 6, so 5.66. Okay. Now this side, because the leg, it has to be less than the hypotenuse, and it is less than 9, so that does work. All right, and then number 4, let's see. right angles here is going to point to the hypotenuse. So this should be the longest side. So we're looking for a little leg, so we'll subtract the squares. So 30.5 squared minus 19.1 squared equals our x squared. So I don't know those numbers off the top of my head because there's decimals. 30.5, Fowler, chill, is that. And 19.1 squared is that. So let's see, we've got 930.25 minus 364.81 equals our x squared. So let's see, pull him down, minus. Okay, so we get 565.44 equals x squared. And then we take the square root, right, D? And get x equals 23.7, and that last 7 around to an 8. Okay, I think that is sufficient enough to do your guys's. Shh, hey, chill. D, eat your cookie. Or smell it, that's fine. To do your IXL, and I'll assign it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.